Today I'm going to talk about communicating with the hardware via the multi-tool software. All the equipment is smart in terms of it's network based and it's various levels of control depending on whether it's the acquisition, lasers, tacho, simulator and power supply. Now I'm going to use the editor, it doesn't matter for this, but I'm going to be in the editor. I'm going to go to the power supplies, two power supply settings. One brings up the panel, one integrates the panel into the lasers. You can tell straight away that they're grey, which means the power supply is not talking. I can assure you the LED is on, so it's powered up. So I'm going to go to the options and I'm going to go down the list, all the kits here, power, and I'm going to click on sync device, and nope, it's not happy. So the clue says there's no status return, in other words it's not talking to the software. The most likely cause is the command port is wrong. This is displayed in the device web page, or the firewall's not configured. Well, I know it is configured, so we're fine with that one. I'm gonna go with this one here. The command port is wrong. Okay, so you don't necessarily need to do this step, but I'm just going to demonstrate by pinging it. The power supply is always on 192.168.190. We use a closed network, so this shouldn't conflict unless you use more than one set of kit on the same network. And lo and behold, yep, it's perfectly fine. It's on the network and it's talking to Windows. So I'll minimize that and we'll bring up a browser. Now if I go to the same IP address, 192.168.1.90, that's pulled off the hardware directly, so it's clearly talking to the web browser. We go down to the control section and we look at the control 11020. If we go back to multi-tool, the command port, control and command is 11022. Well, that explains that. Change that to 20, sync the device. We now have a power supply and it's talking. If I go back to the tools, hardware, power supply, and there we go. And I have the lasers and the acquisition powered. They don't come up in that state. I had them powered up previously. They always come up in the off state. So I've got the acquisition, the lasers, our mini spinning rig, but I won't put that on because it's noisy, and an unused input here. Now that's the power supply integrated into the menu system, but there's also a separate panel. If I go in here, because these are 4 outputs and they're all the same, you can plug any piece of kit into any output. So don't always assume the acquisition's in the first one and the laser's in the second. If you want to change the labeling, just right click on the label, add the label, close the panel. If we now go back to the control that's embedded in the menu, it's reflected there. Okay. I'm not going to go into the acquisition system, that's another video, but what I will do is demonstrate how you can be confident that everything's there if you have any concerns. So go back to the options and preferences, I'm going to go to the acquisition. The default IP address of the acquisition, 192.168.150, same command port. I'm going to click on sync device and sync fine, which means everything's good to go. So the acquisition's happy. I'll go to the lasers, 192.168.170, click sync device. Everything's happy. So we've basically got smart power supply that's powered up acquisition and powered up lasers. The software can talk happily to all three. And we're ready to go. And I'll make sure the acquisition is one of the next videos we get released. Okay, thank you.